Hi everyone, my name is Phil and welcome to Phil Does 3D. I'm a multimedia and a 3D artist and I stream live on Twitch on Mondays and Tuesdays at 5 PM Pacific time in the United States. That's 10 AM if you're in Australia, or around 1 or 2 AM I guess if you're in the UK and Europe. I hope you guys are well and that you had a good Easter. Didn't eat too much chocolate. Remember guys, if you missed the live streams, you can catch up at any time by clicking the videos tab on my Twitch channel, or you can go to my YouTube channel /Phil Does 3D. I upload all of my previous streams to YouTube, but YouTube is behind my Twitch channel. So if you're watching me on YouTube and you want to see the very latest streams, look in the description below this video and you'll find a link to my Twitch page. Then you can catch up with all the latest streams by going to the video section on my Twitch channel. Remember too, if you want to become a Phildo and join the Phil Does 3D Discord server, you can type !Discord in Twitch chat at any time, or go to the About Me section on my Twitch channel and look in the panels down the bottom. You'll find a blue graphic, click that. That'll give you an invite link to join the Phil Does 3D Discord. There's a section there where you can show up your work in the gallery, you can link to your folio or ArtStation, tips and tricks. There's all sorts of stuff on the Discord server, so check it out. We are going to continue working on a game called The House in the Hollow. That's available to wishlist on Steam at the moment. Again, you can check the description below this video if you're watching on YouTube for a link to the Steam store page, or if you're on my Twitch channel, go to the About Me section and you'll find a graphic in the panels which will take you to the Steam store page as well. Okay, I think that's everything. Oh, that's right. If you want to know more about me and what I do, you can go to my website, which is phildoes3d with a .com on the end of it. So there you go. That's everything. I don't think there's anything I've forgotten. Tamana, thank you for the resubscription for 58 months in a row. You are absolutely awesome, Tamana. Thank you so much. 58 months. You are my longest sub. Okay, so yes, we're going to continue working on the House in the Hollow game. I'm just going to grab a quick drink before we begin. Remember guys, if you've got any questions while I work, feel free to pop into chat and ask. If you just want to watch, that's completely fine. Okay. So we are going to jump into, we've got some assets we have to bring into Unreal. We want to dirty them up for the caretaker's cottage. So that's probably what we're going to do today. I'll try and refrain from adding cobwebs and spending a day doing cobwebs for you guys. So I think what we'll start with doing is, will we jump into Max or we jump into Unreal? We might jump into Max first, I think, because I want to dirty up this picture frame. So, I guess we're going to need to jump into Substance Painter, so let's do that. Okay, so we're going to create a new project and we're going to load up the picture frame. 2K should be fine. Let's start by baking out the map. Use the low poly as the high. I think that should be fine. We'll find out. And we're going to add a fill layer. Let's bring in our textures. Picture frame, frame. Normal, frame. So we want the diffuse, we'll bring the normal in. Yeah, actually I might have to jump into Photoshop as well, I think. And let's add the base color and add the normal. And I need to also load up Photoshop. And open up the caretaker's cottage. Frame, here we are. This is the one that has the combined roughness and metallic in the different channels. So we need to, this one I believe is the metallic. We're going to be saving it out as a PNG. What did they call it? TX frame 01A. TX frame 01A. And this is metallic. And that will mean the red channel will be the roughness. Cabinet frame, there we go. And this one's going to be rough. Alrighty, so let's jump back into Substance Painter. Let's import those two new textures. Where did I put them? Frame metallic and frame roughness. And we want the metallic and the rough. There we go. So we need to dirty this up a little bit. It's just a bit too clean. So let's do that. I'm just going to search for dirt. Let's see what the dirt overlay looks like. That's a good starting point. Let's go with another dirt. That's better. Let's see what we can do to adjust it a little bit. Bring that up a little bit more. Yeah, we want to make it quite dirty, I think. And try planar blending on. Maybe not quite that dirty. That should be fine. We just want it a little bit dirty, so let's do a save as for the project. Picture frame. And let's export the textures. Cottage furniture in the painted directory. Export. Okay. Alright, let's see what else we've got here to work with. If I jump back into Max. Now I've updated to the new version of 3D Studio Max, Max 2023. Released by Autodesk a couple of weeks ago. Haven't had a chance to really play with it properly yet, but it seems pretty cool. Geez, I'm away for a week and all my regulars forget about me. Nice, really nice, guys. So the picture frame, is there anything else I needed to dirty up? So let me see. Oh yes, this light. Just a little bit too clean for what we want. So back into Substance Painter, make sure we did a save, create a new project. Clock, standing lamp, that's the one we want. Again, 2K is probably fine. Create a fill layer. Bring in those textures. Table, standing lamp. We want the color and the normal. Back into Photoshop. We can get rid of these ones. Standing lamp. This one will be the metallic. And what's this called? GX standing lamp. O1A. And this is going to be the metallic. Which will make this one the roughness. Sniper Girl, it's good to see you, Sniper Girl. How are you? Did you have a good Easter? You didn't eat too much chocolate, I hope. Oh, it was good. You guys know I can't eat chocolate. It makes me break out in pimples. I had one little Easter egg, like literally about that high, about that big. Oh, it was good. I hope you're well done. I hope you did have a good Easter, Sniper Girl. Sniper Girl says, I'm shocked. 15 after and you're doing work. Did hell freezer. Well, yeah, I know. You are shocked. See, I've been good. I'm being good. I'm trying to get some work done. So we want the metallic and the roughness. It is true though. It is true that I don't normally start working quite so vigorously, quite so quickly. Sniper Girl says, it's because nobody else was in the room, so you didn't have anyone to talk to, right? Well, that's the other reason I will not lie. I have my regular viewers are watching, but not talking. And none of you chatterboxes were in chat to talk to me, so I had to do some work or I'd just sit here twiddling my thumbs. And that would make for an interesting stream. Okay, let's add some dirt. Part of the other reason I couldn't stream last week, again, it was Easter, and I also had to spend the week in the game studio with the guys while we looked at porting the game to Unreal Engine 5, because now that Unreal has been officially released, we thought it was time we checked it out. So we spent last week doing that, and that was fun. She says, makes sense. Nubby says, leaves the room so you do work. No, don't leave me. Snuffy Girl says, my Easter was good, ended up relaxing. Well, that's what Easter is all about. It's about relaxing and doing nothing, really. My Easter, it was, well, yeah, like I said, it was good, but it was busy last week because I had to spend time doing this conversion of the game to UE5. Because nothing is ever simple in life, is it? You can't just convert your project and everything's dandy. It never works that way, unfortunately. It's never quite that simple. Still. I mean, I was keen to check Unreal 5 out now that it's officially been released. So we're just dirtying these assets up so that they look fitting in that destroyed ruin of a cottage. So they don't look too clean. So yeah, my Easter was good. I controlled myself with the chocolate. One little chocolate Easter egg. But I spent most of last week in the game studio, so no rest for the wicked, as they say. And look, I want to point out too, I posted a picture for you guys in the gallery of my bedroom because we were talking about Rembrandt paintings. I think it was Andrew Luss was saying he looks at Rembrandt paintings to get inspiration, and that's a really good way to actually get inspired and to get ideas if you want to do some artwork, is look at the old masters and how they did things. And I have 2 reproduction Rembrandt paintings hanging in my bedroom. And I posted a picture of my room. I want to point out, if you'll notice there's a cross on my bedside table, that now I am not religious, okay? I like things like that purely decoratively. So you'll notice the cross and think, I don't want you guys to think I'm man, he's some religious nut. I do not follow religion at all. So it's purely decorative. Like I have an angel statue behind me over there. Or in front of me, I should say, over there. And again, it's the same deal, only for decoration. That's purely it. I didn't go to mass over Easter or anything like that. I'm not religious. So I don't think we need to add much more. We just want to add some dirt to this. So let's save the project as GF standing on it. And let's export the textures. Android Last Day, it's good to see you, Android Last. I hope you had a good Easter. And again, I hope you didn't eat too much chocolate or anything like that. Sniper Girl says, Twitch must not like you. It just told me that I could silence you. What do you mean? What did Twitch say? Explain, Sniper Girl. Is this new? Is this something new to Twitch that I'm not aware of? Where you can silence me. She says, we all know you're a religious nut that sacrifices kids daily. We forgive you. Andrew Dust says, I didn't notice Easter happened, to be honest. Fair enough, like I was saying to Sniper Girl and the guys just before. I am not religious in any way, shape or form as well, so If it wasn't for the fact that it was a holiday, I wouldn't even know about it. Sniper Girl says, give me the notification. It gave me the notification that I earned enough points. Oh, for silence. Okay. Which one is the silence one? Oh, the silence one is the 5-minute one, not the gag one. The gag one is where you shut me up for like half an hour, I think. Andrew, Sniper Girl says to Andrew, the only reason I did was have some religious people at work. Yeah. And again, like I pointed out, that picture that I posted of my bedroom in the gallery on the Discord, even though you see a cross in the corner on my bedside table, I am not religious at all. That is purely decorative. It actually came in like what they call a priest box. I bought what they call a priest box, which is what the priests used to carry around to give communion to people if they were like traveling priests. So that cross with the candle holder came from one of those boxes. It came with a lot of other stuff as well, like little plates for sacrament and all that sort of stuff. But we're not religious, so we don't really care about any of that stuff. The only reason I bought it was because I bought a wardrobe, an old wooden wardrobe, and I noticed it when I bought that at the store. So. Andrew Luss says, I do like religious art, like paintings and such, but that's as far as religion goes for me. I'm exactly the same. I really like Gothic stuff, and a lot of Gothic stuff is religious. So I like that aspect of it, like the visual, decorative part of it. I don't believe in the religion part of it. So yeah, like I said, I have an angel statue, but it's purely for decoration. I have that cross beside my bed, which is purely for decoration. No religion involved in it at all. I just wanted to point that out in case you guys thought I was a religious nut having a cross beside my bed. I'm not. Okay, let's export. And save. So yes, I have upgraded to the new version of Max 2023. I do like it. I don't know if you guys are playing with Maya 2023, you Maya people, because it's been released as well. I think Sniper Girl and Android Lust are Maya people, from memory. I could be wrong. Don't shoot the messenger. Android Lust says, I do like learning about it, but that kind of led me to not being religious. Yeah, look, I understand. We've spoken about religion before on the stream. It was invented to get people to treat each other properly, and to not be nasty and horrible and brutish and murderous and all that sort of jazz. So yeah, religion is an invention, and it was invented to get us to behave properly to each other. But you don't need religion for that. You should just be a decent human being right off the bat. You shouldn't need religion to say to you, if you're not nice, you're going to go to hell. And if you're good, you'll go to heaven. We shouldn't need those sort of incentives in life. Android Lust says, I didn't update Maya yet, but I'm good. Sniper Girl, about to do a bit of sculpting. Yes, so Autodesk did upgrade all of their suite of software from top to bottom for 2023, as they always do at this time of year. We normally wait a bit longer as a studio before we upgrade to the new versions of Max, but and there are a couple of things in the pipeline that need to be fixed for the new version of Max, because Max has changed the SDK, which they tend to do every year or two, and the SDK is what we use to build applications to work in our pipeline with this 3D software. And it has broken a couple of things, but we're working on getting those fixed up. So in the meantime, we should be fine until we get it fixed up. And I was keen to check it out, see what improvements Autodesk had made. I do like Max 2023. Don't get me wrong, Max is my baby and I love 3D Studio Max, but I have to say, there's not a lot. I mean, there are a couple of cool things they've added in the new version, but they generally tend to add new features with the updates they do. Generally, they do like 3 major updates for the software during the year that it lives. So, because every year they release a new version. And you tend to get the new stuff during the updates through the year, not during the initial release of the new software. Euro, hey Euro, it's good to see you. I hope you had a good Easter as well. Euro says, I'm nice, I'm going to hell, it's warm there. All the best people are in hell. You guys know that, don't you? And like Euro says, it's nice and warm in hell, so there you go. Android Lost says, Mudbox was up. Did they update Mudbox? Wow, I'm surprised, because I thought that Autodesk were going to let Mudbox die, because they didn't seem to do much with it for a very long time. I'm glad to hear that they're updated Mudbox, because Mudbox is good software, particularly if you don't like ZBrush and the ZBrush interface. Well, yes, I was going to say Pixologic, but it's no longer Pixologic. It's Maxon now that own ZBrush, so... Mudbox was updated, wow. Hellforge, hey Hellforge, it's good to see you, buddy. How are you? Did you have a good Easter? I hope you guys, like I said, controlled yourself with the chocolate over Easter. Coffee and save, yes. Oh, well, I've done the save, I'll have the coffee. Yuri says I've been busy doing things. Haven't we all? Sniper Girl says that's awesome to Android the last. Hellforge says I'm freaking tired. I said freaking, he put an F there. He probably means some other word, but we're keeping it clean. Hellforge says running on 4-ish hours of sleep. That's normal. That's what I do every day. 4 hours sleep is like a luxury now. I generally do about 4 hours. I go to bed at like 3 in the morning and I get up at 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 7, so 4 hours. 4 hours is pretty standard for me, which is not good. Look, for your health, you really need 6 minimum. So I'm not suggesting people should work on 4 hours sleep a night. It's not really good for your health. Hellforge says running on 4-ish hours. Sniper Girl says understandable. Android Lust says bean juice not helping Hellforge. Yes, the bean juice. More bean juice is what you need. I know it's what keeps me going during the day. If I didn't have coffee, I just wouldn't function. Euro says I slept like 12 hours last night. Oh, you know, it has been so long since I've slept 12 hours. Yeah, I can't remember the last time I had like a 12. I can't remember the last time I slept longer than 6 hours. 6 hours is like a sleep-in for me. Pardon me. Usually it's 4. But I do tend to have a nap sometimes during the day, so maybe half an hour to an hour's nap after I have something to eat around lunchtime because I get tired because I'm old. So maybe you could say I have 5 hours sleep if you count that hour. That 30 minutes to an hour depends. Hellwood says normally 4 isn't too bad, but I've been trying to cut back on the caffeine. Oh, okay, why? And I was travelling all night. That's sacrilege. You don't say you cut back on the caffeine, Hellwood. Come on. Hellwood says I can't sleep on a plane. Yeah, no, I can't sleep on a plane either. Yuri says I used to run on 4 hours sleep. I did it for years. The money was good at the time. If it wasn't for the wage, I wouldn't have done it. Yeah, look, 4 hours is not good for you, for anyone's health. I only do it because I need to. I've got so much stuff I've got to do. If I didn't have to, I wouldn't, trust me. Yuri says too many snakes. He's talking about snakes on a plane. Always too many snakes, Hellforge says. Well, I hope it's all going well, Hellforge, apart from you not getting enough sleep. That's just part of the course, I'm afraid. Deadlines and all that sort of jazz. And yeah, as I said at the beginning of the stream, which I'll repeat now that there's a few more people around. Yeah, I couldn't stream last week because of Easter, obviously, public holiday, but I also spent the week in at the game studio because we were migrating the project over to Unreal Engine version 5 now that it's been officially released, and these conversions never go smoothly, particularly with a major upgrade from version to version, like from version 4 to version 5 of Unreal, because they change it quite substantially between the versions. You guys, I know I mentioned before Easter that there are a couple of bugs in the new version of Unreal Engine 5 as well, things like the media player not playing MP4 files, which is annoying, but there's a workaround for that. Physics is a bit of a problem in Unreal Engine 5. that we're still working on. Hanging like physics constraints, they're a bit broken, or they seem to be in Unreal Engine 5. We're still looking at that. Yura says, your message wasn't posted due to conflicts with the channel's moderation settings. Stress can mess up your sleep a load too. Yeah, look, stress is really bad for you as well, bad for your body. We all have to try and relax and chill and not stress. And yeah, it does. I'm the same. If you're stressed about something, it will affect your sleep. Helpwood says, yeah, it's going all right overall. Good to hear. I'm glad you're enjoying it still, even though you're not getting a lot of sleep. So yeah, Max 2023 has been updated. We're still waiting on a couple. We need to fix a few things for the pipeline, but generally it's not too bad. It's very performant. Looks pretty much the same. They've added this new thing here, which is autosave, which you guys know I always turn off anyway. But it's actually, the autosave in Max 2023 is actually a lot better. So if you turn it on, it automatically starts a countdown, and if you start doing anything in the viewport, it stops the countdown. You guys know I turn autosave off because I really hate being interrupted while I'm working. When the autosave kicks in, it sort of freezes the program for a short while it autosaves. That really annoys me, so I turn autosave off. But this new version here is a bit smarter in that when it realizes that you're not doing anything, that's when the autosave kicks in. It shows the countdown timer, which you can stop if you want. So autosave in Max is much smarter, which is good. I still turn it off though. Yura says the pivots. Glorious, he likes the new pivot stuff. Yes, there's a few, and I also like the new retopology, where you can keep the UVs on the retopology mesh. That's really, really helpful actually. So in the past, when you wanted to retopologize a mesh, you would lose the UV mapping. Well, now you can actually keep the UV mapping, which is really nice. Very, very, very helpful. That to me is the number one standout feature I love in Max 2023. Just the fact that I can keep the UV channel. If you do use Max 2022, of course, you can just download an update from your Autodesk account, which will add an updated retopology and give you this function in Max 2022. But it's built into Max 2023. So. Yeah, so that's my favorite feature, the retopology keeping UVs. Okay, so we're going to jump into Unreal, and we are going to be working in Unreal Engine version 5. So the project has been migrated to version 5. Like I said, we spent last week, the guys and I at the game studio, making sure everything was working and fixing stuff that wasn't, because nothing's ever smooth. And we have managed to port the project to Unreal Engine version 5, and that's what we're going to be working in from now on, going into the future with the project. Yura says, I got Max Beta access. Oh, nice. I need to install it and play with the stuff they're working on. How did you do that? How did they give you Max Beta access? Yeah, well, that's pretty cool. And of course, if you're a beta tester, they tell you you're not allowed to talk about what you're testing, so we won't grill you. But that's really cool. Being a beta tester for Max for Autodesk. Helpwood says, celebrate with coffee. I agree. Now the viewport looks this way because I have turned lighting off. The lighting has been rebuilt. Everything is completely fully dynamic now using Lumen Global Illumination. And what that means, of course, is that there should not be any more light baking required. Everything is fully dynamic. So unless you actually add static lighting, which they don't recommend you do anymore now that everything is moving towards real time. So all your lights should really be movable. I mean, we still have some static lighting in the level, mainly in the manor house because it was designed that way, so we've kept it that way. But all new lights now in anything we create probably will be made movable. So, and a movable light, of course, means you don't need to rebuild the lighting. No need to save since you haven't done anything yet. That's right. Copy it is. Yuri says they emailed me, but yeah, the stuff was under NDA, so that's about all I can say. Yeah, I know that they put you under NDA. I've never been a beta tester for them, but I know people who have, and I know that they can't talk about it because they NDA them. So. But you only have to look at the roadmap really for Macs to see what's coming up if you really, really want to know. I mean, I'm sure there's stuff going on that they're not put on the roadmap, but the roadmap will give you a good indication of what's coming up in Macs. So we're going to be working in unlit mode so I can see what I'm doing. I may show you guys the lit mode if you really want to see it. At least for this scene here. I won't go to the other scenes because the guys at the studio scream at me. You guys know last week I showed you the different sections and they were not happy. Let me tell you, I got a grilling when I went into the game studio last week. They said to me, well, we told you. Why did you do that? I did it because I can. That's why I did it. But yeah, they were not happy about it. So I'm going to have to control myself. Alrighty, let's see here. Stone grilling right there, that's right. They were not happy. Oh, they were not happy. Because they told me not to do it. And I keep ignoring them, so. Yeah. So they keep yelling at me. That's okay. Phil's used to being yelled at. Helpwood says you can't even control yourself with cobwebs. I know. Actually, I haven't done any more cobwebs in here yet. We still have the cobwebs over. They're hard to see now that lighting is not turned on, but yeah, we probably won't do cobwebs today because I know you guys don't like watching me put cobwebs in the building. I don't know why, because I think it's fun, but so what do we? This is. Let's bring in. We need something here. Yeah, everything else has got rubble everywhere, so we need something here. And we have the cabinet that we textured up, dirtied up. But I don't think I brought the textures in yet. So let's bring the cabinet in and then we can see what the textures are. I don't think the textures are on there. The dirty textures, that is. So let's bring the cabinet in. I'm just going to check the scaling because we brought it up to 1.5. We'll do that for all the assets. As far as Unreal Engine 5 goes, I really like the new interface. I've mentioned before I like the look of the new interface. I thought it was pretty cool. I like they've darkened it all up. It's nice and clean looking. They've done a good job here. I mean, it's familiar, but different. It took me a day or so to get used to where they've moved everything around, but it didn't take very long. I've set it up so it was like in UE4 where the content browser stays on the screen and we have the side thing here, but by default those two things are hidden. I just prefer working this way as opposed to having to hit a shortcut key, because you guys know how much I love my shortcut keys, or I don't. Hitting control and spacebar to bring up the content browser was annoying. So Alford says if you wanted to be obsessively place some other miscellaneous objects, I'm fine with that. You talking about my cobwebs or? Elfwood says, sorry, it's less that I don't enjoy it and more about being afraid of spiders. Okay. Let's get this position. Let's rotate it. So yeah, I do like the new interface very much of Unreal. They've done a really nice job. Lumen is good. I'm not going to say it's not good. It is good. So there are some quirks with Lumen in Unreal Engine 5 I've noticed. I don't know if you guys have played with UE5, but Lumen can work two ways. It can either work with what they call software rendering or hardware rendering. And Lumen, for those that don't really know, is basically what Epic are going to be doing. They're going to depreciate the ray tracing in Unreal, because Lumen is sort of like Epic's version of ray tracing. So things like ray trace reflections, translucency, ambient occlusion, global radiosity, all those things that are associated with ray tracing are built into Lumen, which is Epic's sort of version of it. So they're going to sort of gradually depreciate the ray tracing features in the engine because they're being incorporated into Lumen. And Lumen can run either in software mode or hardware mode. And there are a couple of, I've noticed with the engine, there are some lighting differences between the two, which is a little bit odd and a little bit annoying. So yeah, but apart from that, Lumen is really cool. Helpwood says, my toaster isn't good enough to run UE5. And that's the other thing, you really do need a pretty high-end PC to run UE5. They do have the specs, the minimum specs listed at Epic Games on their website, but they are pretty high. Like, yeah, they're pretty high. So be aware of that too. You're going to need a pretty beastly PC to run it. I mean, you know, I think they say that the Epic guys and girls use 2080s, for example, as their GPU when they're using UE5. I think they require Windows 10. You can't run it on anything less than Windows 10 anymore. And as far as memory goes, I think they want 16 gigabytes of memory, which is, you know, computer memory, which should be in this day and age not too bad. And they want a pretty beefy CPU, so yeah, just a few things to keep in mind. Now, how am I going to position this cabinet? Do I want to knock it over? No, I don't know if I want to knock it over. Helpwood says, my toaster isn't good enough, so I'll have to hold off on playing with all the new shiny toys. Andrew says, wow, does it say 2080 for UE5? I can't remember, you know. Let's have a look. I don't think it does. UE5 min specs. Okay, so they want Windows 10, like I said. It must be Windows 10 64-bit now. Nothing else will run. Wow. Hang on, what's this? 64 gigabytes of RAM? No. Yeah, 2080. Let's jump to the website and make sure. But 64 gigs, seriously? Recommended. Windows 10 64-bit. A quad-core 2.5 gigahertz or faster CPU, which shouldn't be too bad. No, memory, 8 gigabytes of RAM. They don't really give a spec for the graphics card, but it must be DirectX 11 or 12 compatible. I would be, if I was you guys, aiming for DirectX 12, because DirectX 11 is old now. You must have the very latest drivers. When I installed it on my machine, I was running not the very latest, but the previous version before the very latest version of the driver, so only a couple of months out of date. And it comes up with a warning saying, when you install UE5, saying, these drivers have been known to cause issues with the engine. Please update to the latest version. So we've done that with the studio version of NVIDIA drivers. Yeah, pay no attention to that, because I was running a version newer than that driver and it still complained. So I don't know what that's all about. Where was the other thing? Where were they showing? So here, performance notes. Typical system used at Epic. So this is what Epic Games are using for UE5. Windows 10 64-bit, 64 gigabytes of RAM, a 256 gig SSD, a 2 terabyte SSD for the data drive, 2080s, I knew they were using 2080s, and a 6-core Xeon processor. So that'll be 6 cores, 12 threads. So yeah, their specs that they're using are quite high at Epic. Particularly this RAM thing. Look, I've not noticed that you need... I've been working extensively with the game in UE5. And I keep a track of how much RAM is being used on the video card and in the machine and all that sort of jazz. And you guys know the level is... the game is getting quite large. And I've never used more than... I think the highest was 22 gigabytes of RAM. So I would say 32 gig is more than enough. 64 seems a bit overkill to me. Yeah, with the graphics card though, I probably would agree. You want an RTX for sure. I think you could probably get away with 2060 though. I don't think you need a 2080, depending on what you're trying to do. The only thing that might make a 2080 better would be the VRAM, because I've noticed, particularly if you use GPU Lightmass, which we are using now to do the build, we don't use Form anymore, because the GPU Lightmass is much faster at building, although you don't need to do it much anymore with real time. I've noticed that this on my video card, when we've been building lighting on the level, has gone up to about 15 gigabytes. So that could be an issue if you want to use GPU Lightmass and you have anything less than a 2080. Because yeah, between 10 and 15 gigabytes, generally it hovers around 10 or 11 gigabytes. I believe that it can use your system RAM if it runs out of VRAM. Don't quote me because I'm not completely sure about GPU Lightmass, but I think it can use your system RAM. So even though you might only have an 8 gig video card and it wants 11 gig to do the Lightmass bake, I think it'll use a couple of gig from your memory. But yeah, as far as memory goes, it hasn't exceeded 21 gigabytes for me. So I would say if you've got 24 gig or more, then you should be fine. But yeah, they're quite high. The system requirements specs are quite high. Helpwood says 16 megabyte, the 1997 call, and wants their computers back. I know, I got confused between megabytes. Everything's in gigabytes now, I know. Hey, come on, I'm old. Leave me alone. Android Lust says the 64 gig is the typical system use of Epic. Wow, yeah. So they recommend 8 gig by the look of it. I don't think 8 gig is enough personally. I would say 16 gig you should have in your machine if you want to use Unreal Engine 5, based on my experience so far with it. Yura says Unreal Editor probably has a much higher spec than the game engine. Probably. Well, which makes sense because it's what you use to craft the game, so it has a lot more going on than just the game running. Yeah, because you use it to make the game, so. Let's move you over here a bit. And I just don't think there's any other spot I might want to put it. I could put it over against this back wall. I won't knock it over, I will have it standing. I've just got to work out where I want to stand it. We could put it over here. No, I think we want to fill up this space a little bit more. We'll put it here. We won't have it all nice and centered though. We'll sort of like move it a bit. Angle it a bit, that's the word I want. Not move it, angle it. Let's make sure it's not sticking in the wall. And I don't think this has the dirty textures. Or does it? Let's have a look. Let me just bring this over here. No, it doesn't have the dirty textures, so let's bring the dirty textures in. Because we spent all that time making them, let's use them. Import, painted, and I believe these are the cabinet. Yeah, so this one, this one, this one, and this one. And then we also have the doors, we may as well bring those textures in while we're here. Sorry if you can hear my printer going off there, it's doing a clean. My printer's just sort of like behind my microphone there. Okay, so we want to swap out the doors. Where are they? This is why I have this usually over on my second screen, because I can't see everything. Cabinet. That's the one, I believe. Yeah, so let's swap, actually no, that's the original. We want the one that we've just created. I'm going to turn off virtual texturing here. I don't want it on. Did I not? Did I hit the wrong? I did hit the wrong thing. We want sRGB. We don't want virtual texturing. There we go. Pay attention, Phil. You're hitting the wrong things. We want to turn off sRGB on the metallic though. We want to turn off the virtual texture. The same with the, well, with the normal map we don't want virtual texture. But with the roughness map we don't want sRGB and we don't want virtual texture. This probably means I'm going to have to change the... Yeah, that's a bit annoying. Euro says that 64 gig of RAM with the Xeon will be ECCR DIMMs. Upward says copy. Upward says, hey, I'm all Phil 2022. Sniper Girl agrees, I thought she would. Upward says, where's Sniper Girl to clip in when it happens? Sniper Girl says, too busy banging my head against the wall trying to figure out something in Roll20. What's Roll20? Hellboy says, hope you figure it out. That sounds like a time. She says she should be able to. Roll20, they didn't do anything for hit dice when a player is multi-classing. So I'm working at fixing it. Oh, for D&D, okay. Abigail says, we're nowhere close to someone getting to that point of somebody multi-classing. Bit of D&D action going on, hey? This is a bit annoying. I think what I'm going to do is... Yeah... I'm just trying to work out the best way to do this. I may create a new material, I think. This is an instance material based on this original material here. Which I'm not really sure I want to use. Let's have a look. Let's see. Let's just bring in the normal and the diffuse. We'll go from there. Sorry, the normal and the yeah, and the diffuse. That's right. So we want this cabinet to replace this cabinet. This is a dirty version, and we want this normal to replace this normal. So now we should have our dirty version in the engine. Yeah, I can tell from the side here that this is our dirty version. Let's bring in the doors, which we're going to attach, sort of attach, detach. So I guess we'll bring this one in. Scale it up. Yeah, we have to bring our doors in because we have that gap here. Let's just place these and then we might look at converting them to nanite, which again, nanite is the new the whiz-bang new mesh shader that's built into UE5. Now this is weird. We're having this issue here with the UV mapping. We had this problem last week, I remember. I think we fixed it by re-UV mapping, and I'm just going to go into Max and check. Cabinet door. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we did. That's okay. Just complaining because I updated Max. I'm just going to remove that. Oh, okay. So we do have this issue with the door. I thought we fixed that. I'm sure we fixed it. Or did we not? Is that where I started to feel sick and finish the stream? Maybe. Sniper Girl says, whenever Southwood says, cool, I was really tempted to learn to code just so I could fix some broken character sheets for Rogue Trader and Death Watch Warhammer 40,000 tabletop RPG. Sniper Girl says, Roll20 is a virtual tabletop gaming site. Oh, okay. You can play all sorts of tabletop games there? Well, that sounds pretty cool. I wasn't aware of that. Mind you, I don't play a lot of tabletop games, but yeah. Sniper Girl says to Hellforge, I do macros all the time for spells and such. Makes stuff super fast and easy. Hellforge says group fell apart before I could get started with it, so I didn't have to cry myself to sleep at night with coding nightmares to boot. Hellforge says macros are super useful though. Sniper Girl agrees. Hellforge says especially the basic one that rolls initiative and adds the token to the turn tracker. Oh, you don't remember me fixing it, Android Lost? Maybe I didn't. Maybe we noticed it, but we didn't fix it. That'd be right. Alright, let's have a look at what's going on here. I did throw an unwrap down though. Maybe we did fix it, but let's see. Let's have a look at the texture and see if the texture we exported from Substance Painter fits the UVs. I'll just resize this because yeah, I haven't done that yet. So let's bring in the cabinet door, which will be this one. This does not look right. I am confused. Let's jump into Substance Painter. I want to see what's going on there. And let's open up the project we created for the door. Let's go into the right folder. Cabinet door. I thought we did something with this. Maybe we didn't. Yeah, we did. We fixed it here. So what's going on with the... Maybe we just want to see what... Doesn't actually tell me. Alright. So what's going on there? Back into Max. I'm going to see if we've got a different file, maybe. For the door. I really wish they'd change this to dark theme. I mean, come on, Autodesk. How long's the dark theme been available in Windows now? Change up this dialogue so it's dark. It's really, you know, glaringly off-putting when you work in dark mode and then you get these dialogue boxes that aren't dark mode. Yeah, I know, first world problems, but still, come on. I'm just trying to see if we saved out a different version of the door. It doesn't look like we did. So I'm confused. Hang on. This one cabinet. Okay, we did save out another version. I'm going to import this one. It should be in the same spot as the other one. Oh, okay. This is a sort of like a funny thing that happens with Macs. If you try to import a mesh that's the same name as the mesh already in the scene, Mac says it's fine. So we're going to call this one old. Let's import number 2. And see, this is number 2, which is the OK one. So we're going to remove the old one. So this means we need to bring this new mesh into Unreal. So I'm just going to delete that one. Let's import the new one. Cabinet R2. Again, I have to check all of these because it's a new install of the engine. I want to make sure everything's switched off that should be switched off. Because yeah, I've noticed I turn things off like the pivot point. I don't want Unreal to move the pivot to 0, 0, 0. I want the pivot kept on my mesh where as it is exported from Macs. So I just got to make sure, yeah, that is switched off. I'm pretty sure it's this option here, transform vertex to absolute. That'll move the pivot to 0, 0, 0. I don't want that. So it's switched off, so that should be good. So this is the old bad one. And this should be the new good one. I just want to rename this to the same name as the good one. So easiest way is just to do a rename and copy. And paste underscore mat for material. Come on, Unreal, you can do it. And there was something else I want to point out to you guys too. If you're going to be using UE5 under Windows 11 and you have an NVIDIA graphics card, particularly a 30 series graphics card, there is an issue with the engine, and it's an issue with the driver, the NVIDIA driver, even the very latest driver, where it will keep crashing Unreal Engine 5. We were getting these crashes constantly, trying to use the engine, 5 minutes at a crash. And it's a bug that's actually in Unreal Engine version 5 with the latest NVIDIA driver. So I don't know who's to blame, whether it's Microsoft with Windows 11, Epic with UE5, or NVIDIA with their driver. It seems to be a driver issue, so I'm going to sort of like push the blame toward NVIDIA. Where if you're on Windows 11, you're using UE5 and you have a 30 series graphics card, you are going to have problems with the engine crashing. It keeps coming up with a direct 3D device removed, which is a driver crash. The only way to fix it, there is a fix, but you have to actually make sure you can't. You're going to have to do a build, so you're going to have to build from source to get it fixed. There are 2 commits that a guy wrote that are not part of the main branch of UE5, which you have to incorporate into the main branch and then recompile the build to get the editor to stop crashing, which is what I've done here. So I'm just making you guys aware of that. If you want to start playing with Unreal Engine version 5, and you use Windows, it doesn't seem to happen on Windows 10. So if you're on Windows 10, you should be fine. And you're using Windows 11 and you have an NVIDIA 30 series graphics card, it doesn't seem to affect AMD. The engine will crash. May crash. Probably will crash constantly. Hopefully either Epic or NVIDIA will fix it soon, so you don't have to jump through all of these hoops of doing your own compiles and pulling in commits that aren't part of the main branch to get it fixed. Android Lust says my eyes. Kevin So Cool Gaming says, oh hang on, that's another one of those. Can someone ban that? Thank you. Thank you, Hellforge. What is it with all of these bots now wanting people to buy followers and primes and stuff? Don't do it, guys. If you're a streamer, don't buy into that garbage. It's pointless. Buying followers is pointless. I mean, you're going to be outlaying money for something you probably won't end up getting in the end anyway, because these are scammers. And even if you do, it's pointless. So just, yeah. I don't know why there are so many of them around now. Thank you for banning it, Hellforge. Android Lust says, I'd blame the GPU first. Yeah, it seems to be a problem. I don't think it's a problem with the GPU. It's a problem with the driver. But certainly, it seems to be an NVIDIA driver problem. So, yeah. NVIDIA need to fix their driver. It's something to do with transient anti-aliasing or something. I'm not completely sure. But there are commits. So you have to add these two commits that are not part of the main branch of UE5, and then rebuild the engine to get it fixed. And basically what these two commits do is they turn off this feature in the driver or in the engine that is broken in the NVIDIA driver for the 30 series graphics cards. It's very annoying. These sort of things look, they happen. In software development, you know, nothing is ever perfect. There's always something that ends up breaking. I hope they get on top of it quickly though, because I think it's been a known issue for like a month. So we'll see with the next driver that NVIDIA release if there's a fix in the new driver or not. But if there's not a fix in the new driver, you can get around the problem by adding these two commits to the build that turn off the problem in the driver. Because yeah, I know from personal experience I was getting crashes constantly, but we've been working with the engine now with these new commits and it has not crashed at all, so it's been very stable. Hellwood says buy prawns instead. That's right. Social media is full of bots. Yeah, I know. Did you hear Elon Musk tomorrow is a Just Chat stream. We should talk about that tomorrow, but Elon Musk has bought Twitter. I don't know how I feel about that, to be honest. I don't know how you guys feel about Elon Musk, but I think he's a bit of a wanker personally. He's a weird bird, that guy. But he $44 billion or US dollars or something I think he spent buying Twitter. That was money well spent, wasn't it? Spend 44 billion buying Twitter, man. So let's see what that means for the Twitter social network. Because he says he wants to make it more open and more freedom of speech or something. I don't know. Yeah, he's a bit of a wanker. Sorry, Mr. Musk, but you're a bit of a wanker. Let's bring these three in. And that'll be the rough. So we've got the metallic, the normal, and the rough. And R2 is a new. I'm just going to do a save all here because I haven't done one. So let's do one, and I can have some coffee. Thank you, Hellbolt. Phil, coffee, yes. Android Lust said social media is full of bots, and a health board says the Android suspicious. Android Lust says I constantly fail captures. You know, I do too. Those visual capture things, you know, Google Capture, where you got to select all the aeroplanes or select all the stairs or select all the crosswalks, and yeah, I always end up missing one and fail them as well. And they can be so annoying. If you fail one, then you have to do the next one and the next one. Sometimes they make you do two. So you get all the first one right, and then they make you do a second one of 9 pictures where you got to pick the right thing. It's very annoying. All because of bots and passwords and password managers. That's all because of people that are nasty and don't want to do the right thing and try and break into people's accounts. I mean, you know, we wouldn't have any of these problems if people just behave themselves. Android Dust says, I don't know what he plans on doing with Twitter. I was never a huge fan of Twitter to begin with. I'm not either. I hate all social media. You guys know that. I have a Twitter account. I post when I go live. I don't really do much more with my Twitter account than that, because I do not like any form of social media. I think it's all evil and bad for society. That's better. We don't have that horrible glitch with the UV map now. So let's rotate this around. Maybe make it like... So I think what I'm going to do here is... Stop that. I might drop one of the doors onto the ground, I think, and have one door still on hinge. Oh, I can't really do that, can I? That's really annoying. Alright, can't do that. We'll have both of the doors attached. So let's move it into position. I have to do that because of the way the model's designed here with this missing piece. Well, it's not missing, it was not added because the doors are actually meant to cover it up anyway. Oh, my printer is still cleaning, doing a self-clean. So again, my apologies if you can hear that going off in the background, because it is quite noisy. So let's duplicate this piece. I'm just going to change the pivot point to something a little bit easier to work with. Actually, I'm going to change it back. We want to flip this in the... I believe it's in the X. We'll find out. Transform in the X. Rotate it. The printer's driving me nuts. I don't know about you guys, but it's driving me nuts. Okay, so let's make sure we get this in the right spot first. Let's rotate this door right around, I think, so it's sort of like that. And let's just rotate this one back around a little bit more like that. Yeah. Just move this one over a little bit because there's a tiny gap there still. I believe this one should be okay. Yep. So we come in, we come through. I wanted to rotate this door right back so it didn't sort of like hide the clock. We might even maybe angle this so it looks like it's sort of fallen off its hinges a little bit. Get into a position where I can control it a little bit better. Let's rotate it back a little bit this way as well. We undo that. I did it the wrong way. Okay, so we have our old cabinet there. What else we got here? We have a couple of other rooms we have to look at. Let's move up here. I'll come back down there in a minute. Let's add a couple of old beds up here, I think. Rotate it. Okay. We have bed pieces as well. Maybe we'll put a couple of those up in the corner. So we'll say like there were two beds in this room, one of them's been dismantled and it's just leaning over in the corner up against the wall. So we got that piece there, and then we've got this piece here. Have you started doing any work yet on your scene, Sniper Girl? I know you want to bring in that gas station scene into the engine, into Unreal, and start doing some, now that you've got your new graphics card, start doing some ray tracing stuff. I'm just curious if you've done anything about that yet, because I want to see that scene. It's looking cool. The way you're texturing stuff up looks really cool. I'm going to move this one back over. Yeah. Helpboard says, I do too. 2 pixels of a bus in the corner of a picture isn't enough to see it. Andrew Loss says, I was once failing captures and I realised I was doing it too fast for the site. What? Andrew Loss says, and yes, it was the Shoes or bikes, boats, buses. Yeah, the buses one. Gotta love captures. Okay, so we can say this was a bedroom. We don't need to put much in here. And then downstairs we have another room, which is through here. What will we put down here? We have some cabinets we could put down there. I actually need to think this through too, because we have a note that we have to put, like a collectible note that we have to put in here somewhere as well. So I've got to sort of like work out what furniture I want to put where, so I can put a note on something. Where do I want to put the note is the next question too. So we won't put anything in here because this room is completely collapsed. We don't have a lot more room in here anyway. Sniper Girl says, I'm reworking a few things. Before I do that, there's something I want to try that should help improve the overall quality. Cool. Well, I look forward to seeing it, Sniper Girl. You know, I'm still tempted to put that cabinet over here on this wall, against this wall. I wonder if we should, because that'll give us a bit more room here for something else. Let's see what it looks like. I mean, it's easy to move these things around. That's one of the great things about working with a real-time game engine. You can move stuff around without a problem. It's all part of, you know, part of the process. And this is a part that I really like in doing all this sort of stuff and setting up an environment, is actually set dressing a level or a room or an environment, whatever. That's the fun part for me. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like 3D modeling and I like texturing, apart from UV mapping. But the set dressing here is the most fun part for me. Just get into a position where I can move this. There we go. We just want to make sure it's not in the wall. And we might rotate it around. And then we can move it back a little bit more. Sniper Girl says, right now for the shipping containers, I'm referencing a ton of materials in a layer system. Looking at using a trim sheet that I already have made and changing the basic colors using a loupe. Use light map to add the dirt and water. Should look better and use less resources. We'll try that over the weekend. Sounds like an interesting way to do it. And I am curious to see what it ends up looking like. I'm sure it'll look cool. I really like what you did with the floorboards. They were looking really good. So I don't know, guys, what do you think? Do you think the cabinet over here in the corner or the cabinet back here where it was? I mean, considering we can put something else here. If I put the cabinet over here, I'll angle it so it sort of like looks like it's falling down a little bit. But I won't do that unless if we're going to put the cabinet back there. I know it's hard to see without the lighting turned on, but So we can have the cabinet there, or we can have the cabinet there. Cabinet by the door, or cabinet by the window? What's the consensus? What do you guys think? Let me just deselect that for a minute. So cabinet by the window or cabinet by the door? What do you guys think? Window or door? Cabinet window, cabinet door. By the window, depends on how we're looking in lit mode. Okay, I think cabinet window. We'll see what else we can put here that might be a bit more interesting. I just didn't like the cabinet here because I felt it hid the clock a bit too much. We have a couple of tables though. So let's bring in this table. Now, I just want to see if the table isn't too clean. Because the table... I think I might make this table even a bit bigger. What are we up to? 1.9. I might even bring it down a little bit this way. They still didn't fix this. You know how I've always complained about I want to move my camera and I end up moving the actual object. I had hoped with a new version of the engine they might have fixed that, but they didn't. So yeah, let's angle this table a bit so it better fits with the floor. And maybe we might drop it down in the hole a little bit. So if I move it, so is it sitting above a hole? It is good. So two pieces sitting above a hole. Let's drop the table down.
Was it here where you first kissed me on the cheek? Where you held my hand and said you'd always be here for me? Was it here where we sailed the seven seas?
I think the table is a bit clean. We might just take it into Substance Painter and dirty it up. Okay, we need to move it. Or we need to rotate it. What we might do actually is we might scale it back a little bit. I think it might be just a little bit too big. Don't know that I really like that. I prefer it rotated the other way. Again, pardon me guys. Go over there. Rotate this back this way a bit. Andrew Loss says, by the window, it depends. Andrew Loss says, the table reminds me of a roulette table. I guess it does a little bit, doesn't it? It's way too clean. We're going to have to dirty it up. I just want to get the position of the thing right first. Find out where I want to put it. We're going to have to move our trees if we want to keep it here because they're intersecting the table. That doesn't look quite right. Do I like the table there? Do I want it any bigger? These are the questions. I think it might need... should be alright. Android Lost says, I have to go early today. See you tomorrow. See you, Android Lost. Thanks for popping in. Yes, I'll be back on again tomorrow at 5 p.m. Pacific US time. You have a good night, day? Night, I think. Let's move these trees, I think. So I'm just going to move them over a little bit. I have to be careful I don't push them through the wood at the top here, but I want to move this one this way. Might pull it up a little bit. Move it over just a little bit more. That's better. It's not intersecting our table now and it's not going through the floor, so that's okay. Alright. We'll dirty the table up, but we'll probably do that tomorrow. I just want to finish setting this room up. So I still think we need something here. And I think we've got a table that might... Actually, we've got these chairs as well. Let's bring a table in first, another table. There's a small side table, which might look cool, this one here. Let's bring it in and have a look. Oh, hang on, stop. I want to get out of foliage mode. There we go. Scale it up. This is another table that may need to be dirtied up. So if we put this sort of up against the wall, do I want to angle it? Maybe not quite that much. Sniper Girl says, be cool if that was by the door next to it on the floor with a broken lamp. Hang on, I'm curious, what do you mean? Do you mean out here? If it was by the door, which door are we talking about, Sniper Girl? Are you talking about out here or somewhere in here? Or where it is? I'm not quite sure. But where you mean? Have the table closer to the doorway. Okay. You mean this doorway here? This door? And then you're saying putting a broken lamp down here or something? Yeah, okay. Alright, cool. So we'll move it closer to the door. We do have an armchair as well, which I'd like to bring in here, I think. Could look cool. You know, I think it could look cool. I don't disagree. We do have a lamp. It's not a broken lamp though. Let's see what that looks like. It's this one here. We could knock it over though. So we could you a lit lamp, you better not be, I bet you are. I don't have a version that's not lit. We may have to look at that. I may have lamp pieces we can use if this one doesn't seem right from lamps that we're using in the main building. Perhaps. I know what you had in mind, Sniper Girl. It wasn't this sort of lamp. It wasn't what I had in mind either. I'm just seeing if we can't get away with using something like this. She says okay. What do you mean? Is that a bad okay or an okay okay? Even if we don't use the lamp here, I will use it somewhere. She says on the you might have lamp pieces. Not sure about that lamp. Yeah, I agree with not being sure about this lamp as well. I mean, this lamp would probably look better standing up somewhere. But I think I may have lamp pieces somewhere. Let's move this back up. rotate it. You know, adding stuff that's not straight is more challenging than you would think. Getting it to look right. Like things that are leaning against walls and stuff like that, it's more of a challenge than you would think it would be. I have a feeling this lamp is actually lit. We don't want that. Although we may be able to turn it off in the material anyway. I think it looks like it just might have an emissive. We'll look at that in a minute though. How are we going for time? Let me just jump into the other lamps that we have going on, in the ones that we have in the main building. I believe they're under light fittings. No, not under light fittings. Not under candles. Not under bric-a-brac. They are here somewhere. Not under effects. I thought they were in lights. Interior maybe? Nope. Yeah, I thought it was light fittings I had them under. No. No. Where did I put them? I don't even know what they're called, so I can't really even do a search by name. I can't remember what I called them. Because I have like lamps. Why didn't I put them under lamps? Let me see if I can do a search on lamps. That might help me. Yeah, now these are prefabs, so I thought I separated them out from lampshades and lamp bases. Let's have a look at this one. No, I didn't. There's one mesh on that one, which is annoying. What about this one? Yeah, this one's in two pieces, so let's jump to where this one is. And let's bring this in. So turn the music louder and let my feet not touch the ground. 'Cause I'm in a daze and you're driving me crazy. Please can you stay even just for the night? I'm losing my way, but don't try to contain me. I may have to end up making something specific, I think, because these were never designed to actually be put here. So I don't think I've got a shade on its own, like a lamp shade, unfortunately, which is really what I want. I want like a lamp shade that I could put on the ground. Because this is one of the lights that actually sits on the desk in the study. And I know I use an emissive material on this because they're turned on in the main building. We can get around that by making a duplicate material and turning emissive oil. Just going to see if it's, before I do that, whether it's going to be worth doing or not.
Please can you stay, even just for the night? I'm losing my way, but don't try to contain me, 'cause I'm still running wild. Running wild. Oh yeah. Wild. Oh yeah.
Yeah, you might have lamp pieces. I'm not sure about this lamp either. I have a lamp. I know what you have in mind, Sniper Girl. I know exactly what you mean. I'm not sure about this lamp either. But it doesn't hurt to try and see what it looks like.
Are you ready?
Yeah, don't know if I like that. Sniper Girl says, I'm getting up there. 7,000 points will be a bit, but 30,000 you're playing getting over it. Great, can't wait. So you got 7,000 points, but you need 30,000, so it'll be a while. I'm safe for a while.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I don't like that shade. I mean, this piece here is fine. I can keep that. We have an armchair. How are we going for time? Okay, I have an armchair that I'd like to bring in, which I think might look cool. We have this other room. I've got to put stuff in here as well, but I don't need anything more in the bedroom. I can use the table here for the note that we have to place. I think maybe an armchair somewhere around here. So let's bring the armchair in. Yeah, let's do the armchair first. Meshes. I think the armchair might be clean, but we may dirty that up tomorrow as well. Where is the armchair? There it is. We just wanted to follow the level of the floor. So we'll put one sort of there-ish. And we'll duplicate it and put one over here-ish. Stop that, unreal. And do we want another one anywhere else? Guess we could put one over here.
Sometime she was just standing there as I walked away. I should have said hi. I thought to myself, oh, way better than the one before. Got a vibe from just looking at her eyes, and I can't stop, can't get her off my mind. Oh, so, oh, if I look back, will I ever forget those eyes? Yeah. City is too bright at night. I need to get away, think I need some time, 'cause she's on my mind. And I
That table's throwing me because it's so clean. It's really throwing me. Well, why don't we turn, let's do a save all, and then I might turn real-time lighting on so we can get a better idea of what it looks like. We can work on this again tomorrow. So let's turn a real-time lit on. Yeah, I thought that the lamp is actually emitting light, which we don't want. That'll be an emissive material. Let's just go up to nice. Yes, so this is using lumen. We do have nanite happening as well, but you can see the you can see lumen here in the red being reflected from the bricks on the walls, and a slight blue tint being reflected from the sky. That global illumination. So we've got a couple of beds up there. It's a shame that we're not really getting a bit more. We can't really see this cabinet so well. We may have to put a fake light in. Same through here. It is an interior, it is very dark, but we're going to lighten it up. We'll do that tomorrow though, I think. We're going to remove the light from that as well. So that's what we will tackle tomorrow. So we're just going to do a save again, and I'm going to sign off for the day. I do want to thank you guys very much though for hanging out with me and for watching. I will be back on again tomorrow. We'll pick up where we left off here and finish setting up the furniture for the cottage. If we get that knocked off relatively quickly, then we'll move to the outside of the cottage, because I just want to do a bit of beauty touch up on the grounds just in the yard outside the cottage. But that's for tomorrow. You're quite welcome. Yes, thank you guys very much for being here and for watching. Again, I really do appreciate it. I will be back on again tomorrow, 5 p.m. Pacific time in the United States. You guys and girls have a great night, and yeah, hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. See you guys.